Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at violent, disturbing, and/or grisly scenes that traumatized us at a young age. Possible spoilers ahead.
Don't move.
Number 10. Flying Monkeys, The Wizard of Oz. It might be one of the first films a child watches, but parts of The Wizard of Oz never fail to stir up bad memories.
Take your army to the haunted forest and bring me that girl and her dog.
The Flying Monkeys make a big entrance as the Wicked Witch of the West private army. After all, they're monkeys with wings that are sent to harm the heroes. Are we not supposed to be scared of them? This isn't even mentioning the part later in the movie, when they rip Scarecrow to shreds.
Don't stand there talking. Put me together. We've got to find Dorothy.
There's something about their menacing shape and attitude that can't be denied, making us all fearful that they'll swoop down and attack at any moment. Number 9. Boat Scene, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Voulez-vous entrer le Wonkatania?
Taking his group on a boat, Willy Wonka journeys down the Chocolate River into a mysterious tunnel. This includes hallucinations, flashing lights, and the chaotic performance of Gene Wilder. It's an intense and psychedelic experience that feels like sensory overload for children.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
I can take a joke, but this has gone too far.
As a kid, you were probably grossed out by the imagery as much as you were wondering about Wonka's behavior.
The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
The terrified passengers beg to be let off the ride as their screaming tour guide freaks them out. Considering that the rest of this movie is a fun musical, this disturbing scene likely shocked many viewers into having bad dreams. Number 8. The New Parents, Coraline.
Mom? What are you doing here in the middle of the night?
You're just in time for supper, dear.
From the mind of Neil Gaiman, this animated tale about finding another universe isn't all fun and games. Coraline encounters two adults who are her alternate parents and have a very creepy look. With their dead eyes, the mom and dad seem part of a nightmarish reality. Imagine being a kid and having your family replaced by lifeless and robotic beings. The heroine comes up against an existential threat to her ordinary life that could easily scare any child.
My father can't play piano.
No need to. This piano plays me.
She also has to listen to her new father's music, showing the extent of his bizarre transformation. With some surreal imagery, this menacing scene makes us feel lucky that we never found ourselves in a parallel world.
See you soon.
Number 7. Spiders Attack, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. When Harry Potter and Ron Weasley venture into the Forbidden Forest, they encounter the giant spider Aragog.
Hagrid has never sent men into a hollow before.
Things become even more tense as the monster's children begin to appear. If you didn't have arachnophobia as a kid, this might have started it. You probably reacted just like Ron as the many-legged creatures surrounded him.
Harry? What?
The boys' escape by car can't come soon enough, with a few close calls putting the duo in danger. This also inspired our younger selves to think twice about sneaking out into the woods. The haunting scene still makes viewers of all ages curl up with terror, even more so than the hero's encounter with a basilisk. Number 6. Sid's Room, Toy Story. When Woody and Buzz Lightyear end up in an unfamiliar house, they have no idea that it's going to have these kinds of creepy sights.
We are gonna die. I'm out of here.
They find themselves in the villain Sid's room and discover his fondness for mutating toys. You can't help but check underneath your bed after seeing this sequence. With baby doll heads on mechanical spiders, these creations feel more at home in a haunted house. Adding in some mood lighting and shadows, the heroes and the audience watching them are almost equally scared by the room. The villain's treatment of his possessions likely had you creeped out by twisting childhood memories into horrible images.
I've set my laser from stun to kill.
Ah, great. Yeah, and if anyone attacks us, we can blink them to death.
Number 5. T-Rex Escape, Jurassic Park. Once the electric fence turns off, a T-Rex in Jurassic Park decides to interrupt the main tour group. Director Steven Spielberg builds up this moment with all the tension and fear of a horror film. The massive creature nearly tears apart a car before being distracted in a terrifying scene that's too intense for kids. Gennaro escapes to a bathroom hut, but he's eventually gobbled up by the dinosaur. It's a quick and horrifying meal that viewers get to witness in all its glory. Along with all of the dramatic buildup, kids watching might be scared by witnessing the mighty jaws chomp a man. After watching this movie, our dinosaur phase came with worries that the same thing could happen to us. Number 4. Pleasure Island, Pinocchio. After being tricked into going to Pleasure Island, Pinocchio finds himself living it up in a lawless paradise without knowing the truth about the place. The extent of this island's secret is shown as other children are turned into animals and sold into slave labor. The hero and his friend Lampwick think they can have fun, but they also get turned into donkeys in a disturbing reveal.
Hear that beetle talk? You'd think something was gonna happen to us.
It's shocking for its time, but hammers home the serious consequences that come with listening to strangers.
What's going on?
Seeing the fate of the other unlucky kids, young viewers were probably twice as scared about not listening to their parents. The transformation itself evokes body horror movies from David Cronenberg, making us all worry about the same fate.
Mama!
Number 3. Saying Goodbye, Old Yeller. Traumatizing doesn't begin to describe this Disney movie. The live-action tale about a boy and his dog doesn't hold back in its finale.
What's the matter, boy? Come on, it's time to eat.
After the dog Yeller is bitten by a rabid wolf, the family must make a decision about his fate. It's the kind of decision that would completely wreck any family, putting young viewers into a bad headspace. Travis finally decides that it must be him that puts down the pet.
He's suffering. You know we've got to do it.
I know, Mama. He was my dog. I'll do it.
Ahead of its time, this emotionally complex turn has the hero take a gun and finish the job. You don't see many kids' films trying to replicate this violent moment. Giving Old Yeller its sad reputation, this scene comes with a brutal finish that hasn't lost any power all these years later. Number 2. Death of Mufasa, The Lion King. The Lion King continues Disney's trend of killing off parents in a devastating scene. Scar has a chance to save his brother Mufasa, but instead, he assists the king's fall into a stampede. The evil uncle ferociously sends his brother to his death without any remorse.
Long live the king.
Watching this as a kid, the entire moment is only made worse by Simba's scream. Since this scenario would be a nightmare for a child, it makes the sequence that much more traumatic to watch when you're little. The young hero then has to inspect his dad's body, bringing home the weight of the dramatic and awful death.
Dad? Dad, come on. You gotta get up. Dad, we gotta go home.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Pink Elephants, Dumbo. Champagne and animals don't mix well in a twisted fantasy sequence.
Look out, pink elephants on parade, here they come, hippity-hoppity. They're here, and there are pink elephants everywhere.
Artax's Death, The Never-Ending Story. The beloved horse can't make it out of the swamp in a devastating moment.
You have to now! Come on!
Hanging in the Jungle, Tarzan. Tangled up in vines, Clayton meets his end in a shocking way.
Wait, don't!
Judge Doom, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The villain reveals his toon self in an eye-popping scene featuring a steamroller.
Remember me, Eddie? When I killed your brother, I talked. Just wait!
Dr. Facilier's Demise, The Princess and the Frog. After losing his talisman, Facilier's underworld friends come to collect him.
I promise I'll pay your back! I promise!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Face Melt, Raiders of the Lost Ark. For most of this adventure film, director Steven Spielberg crafts amazing chases for the Ark. The Nazis then make the mistake of opening it. This unleashes spiritual forces, taking down the villains and melting their faces. You probably looked away like Indiana Jones the first time you saw these bad guys go down.
Marion, don't look at it. Shut your eyes, Marion. Don't look at it no matter what happens.
We don't blame you either, as there's not much blood to speak of in the rest of the movie. It's only in the sequel that they try to top this moment with a heartbreaking turn from Temple of Doom. The special effects emphasize the destruction, haunting your nightmares for years to come. Do we forget a memorably gruesome moment? Let us know in the comments below.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.